may call on Mr. Randy Di Castro to...
Good afternoon, guys. I have questions about the separation of property. Absolute community property, as discussed by Group 1, it is the both exclusive property, both spouses being in a marriage, and any fruits will be taken from their own exclusive property, will be the common property of them. And in conjugal partnership of gains, as discussed by the Group 3, it is from its very word common fund, there is a partnership between spouses. And those common fund will be, all the fruits therein will be divided later among themselves equally. Article 134, in the absence of an express declaration of the marriage settlement, the separation of property between spouses during the marriage shall not take place except with judicial order. Such judicial separation of property may either be voluntary or for sufficient cause. When complete separation of property applies, complete separation of property takes place when both spouses agree that the regime that will govern by them is the complete separation of property. The second one is upon death of either spouses. And if the surviving spouse contracted a new marriage, and he did not liquidate the previous the liquidation of previous marriage within 1 year, and it's not the subsequent marriage, the subject for conjugal and partnership of gains for absolute community property shall be mandatory that the regime that will govern them is the complete separation of property. Also, complete separation of property applies only upon finality of the degree of the legal separation. Therefore, without which, and then this is what we call voluntary. When both spouses find for the complete separation of their property. And then the last one is, this is what I will discuss on Article 135, which is if there is a sufficient cause. This is the sufficient cause for them to find for complete separation of property. That the spouse of the petition has been sentenced to a penalty which carries with it civil jurisdiction. This is provided in Article 38 of the Civil Code and well defined in the Article 34 of the Revised Penal Code. The differentiation of helping a civil interdiction, this is actually an accessory penalty for imprisonment of reclusion temporal. Therefore, he is deprived of marital rights, disposing of his own property inter vivos, and also parental authority and management of his own property. But in this case, there is an act for him. There is an act not prohibited with a person which have an accessory penalty of civil interdiction. This is what we call the donation or disposa. So the act, he can still donate his property because the effect of the donation is upon his demise. spouse of the petitioner has been judicially declared as absentee. Absentee, as provided in the civil code, 2 years if there is no any news regarding to this person, to this spouse, which has been missing. And if the subject here is about the property, the absentee must be within 5 years. Is missing for 5 years for him to apply the complete separation of property. So we have discussed it before that 2 years must be there's something threat about him when there is word about kind of determined or justified. And in relation to property, the court declares that it should be 5 years for the complete separation of property. Yes. The loss of parental authority of the spouse or petitioner has been declared by the court. It means there is a compelling reason for him to deprive of the parental authority of his children. Might be severe for it to get their children. That's why loss of parental authority of the spouse, the petitioner has been declared. That the spouse of the petitioner has abandoned the latter or failed to comply with his or her obligation to the family as provided for in Article 101. This compliance of this obligation refers to marital obligation, family obligation, marital obligation, family obligation, and the other one. So, abandoned has been already discussed by group 1, which is it should be at least 3 months without the intent of returning to their conjugal domicile. That the spouse granted the power of administration in the marriage settlement has abused that power. This application will only apply if the other spouse has been intended and given the authority to administer the property. Therefore, if the other one only assume that there is an abuse of power in the administration of the property, this will not apply. Therefore, this application should be determined that the other spouse has been given the authority of administration of the property. Otherwise, if the other one during the administration, this will not apply. That at the time of the petition, spouses have been separated in fact for at least 1 year, and reconciliation is highly probable. Therefore, at least 1 year. And mere separation in fact will not be granted for the complete separation of property, because there is still a probability of reconciliation. Therefore, in this case, the reconciliation must be highly improbable for them to be granted for the complete separation of property. And this is all about the report. And it'll follow by Sir.
Wait, I have a question. So what are the instances when party will go to court? What are the instances when the complete separation of property between the spouses will apply?
Upon death of the other spouses. Upon death of the other spouse. Upon death of the other spouse, and if the surviving spouse contracted for subsequent marriage and they did not liquidate within 1 year I did not liquidate the property within 1 year of the previous marriage. Let's
Within 1 year from the death of the spouse
Opo.
in the previous marriage.
Previous marriage.
Oh, hindi ka previous marriage. Sabi mo, within 1 year from the previous marriage. Iba yun.
Upon death of the 1 year upon death of the spouse. And then if the surviving spouse did not liquidate within 1 year and not subjected to conjugal partnership of gains or absolute community, the subsequent marriage contracted with the surviving spouse will be considered the regime that will govern it is the complete separation of property.
One. There are 5.
At that, both spouses jointly apply for the complete separation of their property. For the complete separation of their
Nag-file sila ng petition jointly. Oh.
and when there is a sufficient cause as provided in Article 135, the complete separation of property may also apply.
But that is a petition filed only by one of the spouse.
Yes, ma'am. And then that they are that they agreed that the complete separation of property that will govern them before the marriage. And upon finality of legal separation, the complete separation of property will also take place.
After dissolution. Did you get that? You find instances where complete separation of property will be made.
For the second reporter, we will discuss Article 136 and 137. We will discuss voluntary separation and the degree of separation of property. And one of Mr. Rolando.
Okay, so based dun sa report ni Randy, you heard all about the grants, yung mga grants for separation of property. If there's like civil interdiction, absentee spouse, loss of parental authority, and so on and so forth. But what if hindi mag-fall under sa category na yun, yung situation ng mag-asawa, ng both spouses? The question is, pwede pa kayo mag-file ng complete separation of property. So that is what Article 136 is all about. So Article 136 is voluntary separation of property. Spouses may agree to voluntarily dissolve the absolute community or the conjugal partnership of gains, but it must be approved by the court in order to take legal effect. So kung kayo dalawa lang mag-file without the court's approval, walang effect yun. So we should note that just like yung previous na na-mention ng mga instances, kailangan ng sufficient cause. Under this category, itong instance na to, so voluntary separation of property, both spouses will file a joint petition. Then, magbibigay sila ng sufficient cause. Now, ang pinagkaiba niya doon sa mga previous instances is that yung sufficient cause na ipoprovide